Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into the quiet, invisible technology that quite literally keeps our modern world structurally sound. It's called ultrasonic testing, or UT. If you've ever found yourself wondering exactly how engineers verify the integrity of massive, critical structures without tearing them apart to look inside, well, you are in the right place. Let's get into it. Think about a massive commercial jet or a high-pressure oil pipeline spanning thousands of miles. How do we find hidden, dangerous flaws deep inside that solid metal without cutting it open? I mean, if we cut into a pipeline just to check it, we've literally just destroyed the pipeline. The answer lies in something completely invisible to the naked eye: high-frequency sound waves. It really is the ultimate solution for inspecting critical infrastructure safely. Okay, so let's define what this is. Ultrasonic testing is a non-destructive testing technique, NDT for short, that relies on high-frequency sound waves. We're talking specifically between 0.5 and 20 megahertz. To put that into perspective for you, human hearing maxes out at about 0.02 megahertz. So by directing these unbelievably high frequencies right into a material, we can locate internal defects and measure overall thickness. And we can do all of this without putting a single scratch on the component. Here is our roadmap for today. We're going to hit 1. Core principles, 2. Equipment and working procedure, 3. Testing methods and displays, 4. Defects, materials, and applications, and finally, 5. Limitations, safety, and standards. All right, part 1, core principles, the science of the echo. So this mathematically illustrates exactly how that reflection works. Distance equals velocity multiplied by time divided by 2. Imagine shouting into a massive canyon. The sound travels all the way across, hits the rock wall, and bounces right back to your ears. If you know exactly how fast sound travels, and you time how long the echo takes, you can easily calculate the distance to the wall. But why do we divide by 2? Well, because the time we measured was for a round trip. The sound had to travel to the defect, and then travel all the way back. By brilliantly dividing by 2, the ultrasonic flaw detector can instantly pinpoint the exact depth of a crack or a void hiding inside a solid piece of metal. Moving on to Section 2, Equipment and Working Procedure, the UT Toolkit in action. So, what's actually on the workbench? A standard UT system works together as a very cohesive unit. The absolute brain of the operation is the ultrasonic flaw detector, which generates the electrical pulses and displays the echoes. This connects to a transducer, or probe, which essentially acts as both the speaker and the microphone. It converts electrical energy into ultrasonic waves. But here's the catch. High-frequency sound absolutely hates traveling through air, so we use a coolant, usually a gel or an oil, to completely eliminate the air gap between the probe and the metal, which hugely improves transmission. And of course, before testing even begins, operators use a calibration block to ensure the instrument's measurements are perfectly spot on. In practice, an inspection follows a really strict step-by-step rhythm. First, the operator cleans the surface and applies that all-important coolant. Next, they calibrate the instrument using a standard block, like an IWV1 or step block. Then, they place the probe flat against the material, transmit the ultrasonic waves inward, and wait to receive the bouncing echoes. When they interpret the display, they'll typically see an initial pulse where the sound entered, a backwall echo from the far side of the material, and, if there happens to be a problem, a defect echo popping up right in the middle. Up next is Section 3, Testing Methods and Displays, Visualizing the Unseen. Operators basically choose between 2 main setups depending on the job. The most common, by far, is the pulse echo method. This is where a single probe acts as both the transmitter and the receiver. It's an absolute game changer when you only have access to one side of a pipe or a structure, and it's great for internal defects. Contrast this with through transmission. This uses 2 probes, one transmitting on one side, one receiving on the exact opposite side. This method is highly effective for checking composite materials or bond inspections because any internal defect will literally block the sound from reaching the receiver on the other side. But you know, the technology gets even cooler with these advanced variations. Take phased array ultrasonic testing, or POUT. This uses multiple crystal elements packed into a single probe, allowing the operator to actually steer the sound beam electronically without physically moving the probe itself. No way, right? It allows for incredibly high-speed scanning and amazing imaging, making it huge in the nuclear and aerospace fields. Then there's TOFD, or time of flight diffraction. Instead of measuring direct reflections, it measures the subtle diffraction signals, bouncing right off the tips of a crack. If you need highly accurate crack sizing, TOFD is absolutely your go-to. Now, all this raw echo data has to be read by a human operator. The flaw detector visualizes this in 3 distinct display modes. The A scan is your bread and butter, definitely the most common. It's a standard 2D graph showing signal amplitude on one side and echo position on the other. A B scan steps it up a notch by providing a really neat cross-sectional view of the material. And finally, a C scan gives a plan or top-down view. You'll see C scans used a lot in automated robotic inspections when they need to map out really large surface areas. Section 4. Defects, Materials, and Applications. The real-world impact. UT is a literal lifesaver because of the sheer variety of structural threats it successfully catches. During manufacturing, it finds terrifying hidden welding errors, like a lack of fusion or penetration, trapped slag inclusions, or microscopic voids and shrinkage cavities deep inside freshly cast metal. Out in the field, it's just as critical. It detects age-related wear, tracks hidden corrosion and wall thinning, and finds dangerous laminations and delaminations in older structures long before a catastrophic failure can occur. And its versatility? Astounding. UT easily penetrates heavy industrial metals like carbon and stainless steel, aluminum, copper, titanium, and the dense nickel alloys used in heavy forgings and castings. But it translates beautifully to modern synthetics too. It can easily inspect plastics and advanced composites, and even ceramics, though to be fair, the high density of ceramics does require some specialized adjustments to get a good reading. Because it works on so many different materials, UT is utterly indispensable to our modern infrastructure. I mean, think about it. From ensuring oil and gas petrochemical pipelines don't leak, to verifying the absolute safety of nuclear and thermal power plants, it inspects the aerospace and automotive vehicles we ride in, the shipbuilding and railway components that move all our global freight, and the structural steel and high-stress pressure vessels that quite literally hold up our major industries. And finally, Section 5, Limitations, Safety, and Standards. Doing it right. Let's recap the massive advantages first. UT provides high penetration capability into very thick materials, delivering immediate, highly accurate results. And it does it all with zero component damage. The gear is highly portable too. But crucially, unlike industrial radiography, which relies on X-rays, UT poses absolutely no radiation hazard to the operator or anyone working nearby. Plus, as we discussed with the pulse echo method, you often only need access to one single side of the part. But hey, it isn't magic, right? We have to maintain an objective view of its physical limitations. UT demands highly skilled, heavily trained operators. You can't just hand someone a probe and expect a perfect reading. Surface preparation is mandatory. You absolutely have to use that couplant. Because of that, it's very difficult to use on rough surfaces. Coarse-grained materials can actually scatter the sound waves and reduce signal quality. Complex shapes require immense experience to interpret correctly. And paradoxically, while it handles thick materials beautifully, very thin materials can be incredibly difficult to inspect because the sound bounces back almost too quickly for the equipment to read cleanly. And finding a flaw? That's really only half the job. Operators must evaluate their findings against strict international codes to ultimately decide if a part is safe for use or if it belongs in the scrap heap. They rely on rigid standards from governing bodies like ASME, API, the American Welding Society, ISO, and ASTM. Acceptance always depends on the specific size, type, and location of the defect. Safety also means ensuring proper calibration, selecting the exact right probe and frequency, using sufficient couplant, keeping the equipment in good condition, and meticulously recording the data. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is seeing how operators mathematically match the sound frequency to the specific job at hand. It is entirely a balancing act between penetration and resolution. For thick sections or coarse-grained materials, you have to drop the frequency down to 0.5 to 1 megahertz, so those longer waves can penetrate deep. General weld inspections sit comfortably in the 2 to 5 megahertz range. But for precise thickness measurements or finding tiny microflaws in thin materials, you need high resolution, maxing out the frequency between 10 and 20 megahertz. And that brings us to the end of our explainer on ultrasonic testing. So the next time you cross a massive steel bridge, or board a flight, or just drive past an oil refinery, take a moment to consider this. What hidden flaws might be hiding inside the structures you rely on every single day? Thanks to the incredible science of invisible sound waves and the highly skilled operators who wield them, those hidden flaws are found and fixed long before they ever become a problem. Keep learning, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next explainer.
Ultrasonic testing uses high-frequency sound waves. It detects internal flaws and measures pipeline thickness. This is done without causing damage to the structure, ensuring